Freedom fighters will be celebrating their 8th anniversary of the party's founding in the next 5 days. We're joined now by EFF Treasurer General Omphile Maotwe to talk about the party's impact on South Africa's political landscape. Omphile, good evening and thank you very much for your time and joining us tonight here on In Focus. So, on your 5th birthday, you said the party is now 5 years old. We are ready to govern. In fact, we are going to be in government. On your 6th birthday, you said exactly the same. Your 7th birthday, you said exactly the same. Now, you're turning 8. People are going to say it's beginning to sound like a scratch record. Are you actually going to be in government?
Good evening, Thabo, and good evening to the viewers of Newzroom at home. Yes, we are definitely going to be government, and the people should be comfortable with us saying the same message over and over again. Because then we can't be accused of flip-flopping, we can't be accused of changing what we stand for or anything like that. So we still say, even this year, that we are government in waiting, we are ready to govern, and we are appealing to the people of South Africa to say the ANC is not a solution. You've given them over 24 years. They have not assisted us with anything. So it's now time for change, and the change is now, and the change is EFF. And we have seen with the 8 years that we've been in existence that we've brought so much political landscape change in South Africa. So I think now, Thabo, the people of South Africa should be comfortable with the EFF because we stand true to the cause, we stand true to what we say, we stand true to what we believe. And we've been pushing, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how we get beaten, no matter dubola, no matter but shire, but we still keep going forward and still saying we're standing on our 7 non-negotiable cardinal pillars that are meant to change the status quo, particularly for our black people. We stand for economic freedom in our lifetime. We stand to pursue the struggle against discrimination against our people. We stand for the dignity of our people. We stand for the total emancipation of our people. And the people of South Africa, that's what they know us for, and that's what they should be comfortable with, the same message that we keep on saying until they understand it. I know it's not an easy thing to believe in a new political party, particularly given the history of this country of formations of new political parties, the likes of COPE that died, But with the EFF, we've been very different, and we've just proven, even science can attest that we are the only political party that is growing in South Africa at the moment. The DA is going down, the ANC is going down, everybody else is going down. It is the only EFF that is going up. So the people of South Africa should be comfortable with us saying we are now ready to take the struggle forward. Give us a chance, give us 5 years, and let us change the status quo in this country.
Yeah. Some would say, well, look, your policies and your promises of governance have very little evidence of being successful. So what's the rationale and the practicality of you saying, let's vote for you? Because you have not really tested some of these ideas.
No, but Thabo, equally, capital has not helped. I mean, how is it helping? How is it closing the gap between the rich and the poor? The inequality has risen. Why do we then believe, if socialism is not the answer, why don't we believe capitalism is the answer? I mean, it's impacting me and you today. The high unemployment rate in this country, it just keeps on growing and growing. So isn't it time that South Africa really give a different thing that perhaps it can bring us change? Why should we be told to fear a change when we are sitting in this situation that is not doing anything better in the lives of our people? Instead, we see poverty levels going up, inequality levels growing bigger and bigger, unemployment going up and up. So why are we not scared that what will happen with the same capitalism that we are in now in the next 10 years? How will the situation be? So we should not be driven by fear of the unknown. We should be the change that we want to see. And we are saying as the EFF, we are agents of change. We want to bring about that change. If it fails, let it fail, but we would have tried. We have tried capitalism 24 years later, we are worse off. So are we not enough with the worst situation that we find ourselves in? Isn't it time that we look for change and be the change that we want to see ourselves?
Yeah. Are you not concerned that that message would be in the same contestation, I suppose, with the RET faction of the ANC that is also leaning towards the left of the political revolution, and you would be competing in that space with the RET forces?
No, so the faction of the ANC is just that, faction. We're talking about the policies. We're talking about what the organization stands for. There's no faction in the EFF that talks a different language. Now, we are competing in this space because there's a vacuum in this country of bettering the lives of our people. RET forces are just that. They are fighting for their own positions. They are fighting for who wants to eat and eat better and quicker. There's nothing that they're going to bring about change. If there's anything, they would have done that with the 9 years of President Zuma, because seemingly it is that faction that talks about RET. It's just lip service. I mean, the same RET forces that are now pushing, they were there in government when the EFF tabled in 2014 already the issue of the expropriation of land without compensation. By the way, the Zuma administration rejected it. The Zuma administration only agreed to it now when they went to 2017 Nazareth conference, because it was in their best interest. Even the issue of free quality education, we know very well how our students were butchered and killed and slaughtered and all that. Some were sent to prison. And when they went to Nazareth, because they wanted to come up with a different narrative to differentiate themselves from these ones that are in government today, they came up with this RET nonsense. And then President Zuma on that conference then said free quality education. So it's a rhetoric, it doesn't mean anything. It's not a policy of the ANC. By the way, we are currently negotiating the land expropriation without compensation, and we're meeting with high delegations from the ANC, and they tell us straight, Thabo, that state custodianship of land, it is not their policy. So they can fool whoever they want to fool, but they will never fool us until it is in their documents. They adopted Nazareth, sorry, not even Nazareth, but conference resolutions, then it means nothing. Like today, they are telling us their resolution of 2017 says let's go and expropriate land without compensation. Today, a month ago, we're sitting with the high delegation from the ANC, and they told us, no, state custodianship is not their policy. So it's just lip service, it's just them wanting to occupy the space, because they see that these ones are leaning towards the right completely. Now they want to differentiate themselves, and they want to come back and rule the ANC through that rhetoric. It's not going to assist them. But of course, in Parliament, they must say the same, and they must vote with us if really what they are saying is what they mean, because they are there in Parliament. We are now going to be passing the law of expropriation of land. I mean, this is Section 25 of the Constitution. If really what they mean is that, they see it happening. They must defy those that are currently in government, because the ones that are currently in government, they still talk about compensation. So even though they agree to the motion of the EFF, which is very clear to say expropriation of land without compensation, but I can tell you now, Thabo, they are saying with compensation. Now, if the RET forces, let's start there in Parliament to see if, let's put it to a test in Parliament, that what they are talking about is actually true, and let's see them voting against the ANC that talks about compensation, and they must vote with the EFF that talks about without compensation, and we can then have this conversation after that. But until then, South Africa must know that it is not the policy of the ANC. It's not us saying that, it's them that are saying it, that it is not their policy, and therefore they cannot agree with it. And that is exactly what the RET forces will also be saying. So the people of South Africa must know the EFF is the only solution to the problems that we face in this country.
Why did the EFF sit out the situation that we were dealing with in the country in the past week?
Come again, Tom?
Why did you stay out of it? Why did you sit out of it? You didn't have any part in it. You were not out there. You were not stopping anyone. You were just almost sitting and just watching, and not in any way getting in as part of the solution to that challenge. No,
it's an ANC thing. Why must we enter into ANC factional battles? Is the RET forces fighting against these ones that are in charge today? Ramaphosa fighting against Zuma. That's what they're fighting for. Why must we enter that space?
But when you saw it leaking into society and becoming so destructive?
It is the mess that is caused by the ANC. The ANC, it's good that the people of South Africa can see that the ANC, what they can do to this country. So why must we interfere on things, on affairs of the ANC? The ANC must take full responsibility, and the current sitting president must take full responsibility of the deaths of our people. More than 200 people died because of the infightings of the ANC. So it is their mess. They must correct it. We are not in there. The people of South Africa, that's another proof that the ANC is not for black people. The ANC is for themselves. It's them or nothing. It's not for the people of this country. Because if it was for the people of this country, they would have sat around the table and resolved this thing amicably, peacefully, amongst themselves as the organization. So they can't even control their own internal affairs. Yet the society still believes that they can run the country, such a sophisticated institution. So I think the electorate must really rethink and think about what this current ANC is doing, because they keep on proving that they are not capable, but the electorate keep on forcing them. They have not been able to pay their people's salaries, their offices, their own workers' salaries for months. But the electorate will still continue to vote for them. So I think the electorate really needs to see the ANC for who they are. The same ANC, by the way, that contributed close to $1 billion in campaign for one man to become the president of that organization. Today, the same president of that organization that managed to fundraise $1 billion is unable to fundraise salaries for his own people in the office. Yeah. So that is the ANC for you. It's not going to change. It's just going to get worse and worse. And if the people of South Africa keeps on putting their trust in them, they've got no one to blame but themselves. We are warning the people of South Africa. Stop voting for a party that does not care about you. It does not care about its own workers. Now, how will it care about 50 million people when it can't care about just over 300 people? So the people of South Africa must know who the ANC, what they are, and what they stand for. They stand for violence. That's what they stand for. We've seen in the past few weeks what they stand for. They will even kill each other because of their own internal factional battles. Do you think, Thabo, this struggle that you've just had 2 weeks ago, if it was the struggle for the land, would have been the first one to join it, the EFF? You would have joined it because it is meant to change the status quo. But no, this one was factional battles of the ANC that are not going to change anything in a society, the society that I don't even know if it's the society, by the way, that was looting. What I know is that this is the factional battles of the ANC and it must be named like that. Let's leave society out of this. It is a battle of the ANC among themselves. And they must account, the ANC must account for the loss of lives of our people.
Omphile, stay with us. We'll continue in a moment. EFF Treasurer General Omphile Maotwe there with us here on In Focus. We'll continue this conversation in a moment and get a sense from them as well on the recommendations by the by the Justice, I beg your pardon, Dikgang Moseneke, on the postponement of the local government elections. We're back in a moment. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us on In Focus here on Newzroom Afrika, channel 405. Still with the Treasurer General of the Economic Freedom Fighters, Omphile Maotwe. 5 days away to the party now celebrating its 8th anniversary. Of course, so we're just getting a sense of how they are shifting the politics of South Africa in this era and time in which we're living in. So let's talk then about the party's relationship with the current administration, the administration of Cyril Ramaphosa, as opposed to the party's relationship with the former president. We're still not hearing some strong push from the Economic Freedom Fighters, for example, to say Cyril must fall.
Sorry, Cyril must?
Fall.
Oh, no, we don't just wake up and say those things, Thabo. We build up a case, and we're doing that very well. Thabo, our relationship is very open with everyone. I mean, we are an open door policy organization. We engage, but if we engage people and they don't agree with you, that's okay. I mean, I just told you now about the issue of land expropriation without compensation, which was passed, the motion was passed in 2018. We're still sitting here and the ANC is chickening out of expropriating land. They're talking about with compensation, they're talking about nil compensation on land that is going to assist us with anything that is not productive, that can't be used for anything. So that's the ANC for you. We've tabled motions like a nationalization of the Reserve Bank in this administration, and the ANC was very clear that they're going to reject it. We've tabled a motion to seek to investigate the living conditions of our people in the farms, and the ANC outrightly rejected it and wanted to establish an ad hoc committee, just like the Section 25 land expropriation ad hoc committee. They refused and said, no, let's redirect it to some agriculture and some labor committee down there, and they are frustrating the process right now. We've tabled a lot of bills, like bills to insource the security guards, to insource our cleaners. The ANC is delaying the process. We've tabled bills like the alcohol bill, where it seeks to ban the advertisement of alcohol. The ANC is not keen on that. So this administration, it's the same as the previous administration. There's nothing special about it. So that's why I keep on saying to you, it is the policy of the ANC that should attract the electorate, and not the rhetoric that they say. You know that the president of the country, when he was campaigning, he went to Alex and promised 1 million houses. It's 3 years later, we have not seen that. And can't implement it because he doesn't have the land. And here we are saying to him, we give you our votes in parliament to expropriate the land so that you can build the 1 million houses. He's not keen in that. So that is what they are for you, the ANC. So we as the EFF, yes, we've won a lot of battles, Thabo. Right now we've established, as you know, a labor desk that gets flogged on a daily basis with calls, with emails, with walk-ins, being frustrated by the system, being frustrated by the establishment. Our people, even though there's unions in this country, but they still get frustrated. There's no solutions. We've established a gender desk to deal with issues of gender-based violence and femicide. You've seen our offices being flogged with women crying, asking for justice for what the ANC has done to them. You know very well that last year in Women's Day, we're talking about coerced and forced sterilization of women. And those are the battles that we are fighting for our people, and we will win them with our people. So the ANC is not assisting at all. I mean, our 7 non-negotiable cardinal pillars are out there, and they're out there for a debate, and we call them to a debate to say, let's debate. The last attempt we did, as you may be aware, was then to say, let's have top 6 of the EFF meeting with the top 6 of the ANC, because we've been meeting with what has been termed the high delegation that is delegated by the officials of the ANC, by the way. And you have not seen anything. And some of the leaders that we met were, by the way, some of the top 6 members. Then we said, let's top 6 to top 6, let's meet. On the 11th hour, they said no. The delegation that we've sent is enough, and we stand by our commitment of saying we still want to go with compensation. So that's exactly what they are. That's who they are, and we cannot change them. And we are saying, the people of South Africa, if you were thinking that you are still giving the ANC the votes with the hope that they will be in government with the EFF, it's not going to happen, because we're not going to compromise on our 7 non-negotiable cardinal pillars. Therefore, redirect your votes from the ANC and give them to the EFF, because the EFF is going to implement what we've always been spoken about, what is written in our...
Yeah.
You can hold us accountable.
So are you saying, Omphile, that you are not going to govern through coalition arrangements?
No, we're going to govern. The EFF is going to be government on its own. Now come the local government elections. That's why we are going into that space to compete in the first place. We are going to compete there because we want to take over power and use that power to change the lives of our people.
Which municipality are you saying you're going to take outright majority?
We are going to contest all the municipalities, all of them, Thabo, all of them. We are going to contest all of them, and we go there with a win. And that's what it is, because we are going to go into the manifesto. Our manifesto will be...
How practical is that projection? I mean, if you look at by-elections and how you've performed there, to say now you will come for local government elections and you will win outright majority in all.
No, but by-elections, Thabo, we've been growing, by the way. In the by-elections with us, we have been growing.
True?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm saying that is true. Yes, you have been growing, but you're not growing at a level where you can confidently say you will win outright majority.
With this current battles of the ANC, my man, wait for local government elections. We're going to take over those things. We're going to take over all those words of the ANC. I mean, there's no ANC. It's just a name. It's just a name that was formed somewhere back there in 1910 or 1918, somewhere there. But it's just a name. It's nothing. What we have today, the only organization which we have in this country that seeks to give back the dignity of the people of South Africa is the EFF. And we're going to carry that message to our people. We're going to tell them. We're going to show them. And that is the fear of Ramaphosa, which is why he wanted to push for the local government elections, because he wanted to close the political space. Because he himself, as government, he can call a family meeting, so-called useless family meeting at 8 o'clock, and everybody must watch. We don't have the same platform because we're opposition. So he's scared of competition. He's scared of being defeated on a ground level. That's why he's making the ground not to be level. So we're saying to him, postpone these elections. Let's all play on the playing field, all of us equally, and we'll show you clearly. The people of Africa are tired.
What are the concrete proposals, right, that you will put forward in this time of a pandemic, for example, to assist us to speed up our vaccination process?
Thabo, don't speak as if we have not been making those concrete proposals, by the way. And the media must not even downplay the role of the EFF in us pushing for the postponement of the local government elections. We've been very consistent from day one to say it is not in the best interest of the country to hold the elections because we are putting the lives of our people at risk. Let's fast track the vaccination of our people, because without vaccine, we are not going to win this battle. Just last month, they were saying they vaccinated, not even last month, 2 weeks ago, they vaccinated 1.5 million people. And that's not even full vaccination, that's just a first jab. We're still gonna go for the second jab. So how do you then hold elections in a country of more than 50 million people and you've just only passed, not even passed the 2 million mark of those that you've vaccinated? So you can't postpone the election. We've been saying that from last year. Let's amend the clause in the Constitution that allows for this. We had ample time to do that in Parliament. We proposed this in Parliament. They refused. The useless president stands up and says, we're having elections on the 27th of October, followed by the useless IEC CEO, who then says we are ready to hold the elections. Until the former deputy justice says to them, but it's not going to be free and fair, because we have not, I mean, how do you close the country 2 months before the elections? To the embarrassment of the IEC, they postponed the by-elections, the last by-elections that are supposed to be held on Monday when the by-elections were on Wednesday. And that is the leadership that you want us to take serious in this country. And that is the leadership that must help us cap the infection rate in this country. We're not going to win that battle, Thabo. So the government must put all systems in place to vaccinate our people. 500 billion was spent. There's no hospital that they can show for it. There's nothing. The money is gone. They went to get money from the World Bank. The money is gone. They went to get money from IMF. By the way, Ramaphosa is going to account for all. We are warning him today to say, don't think that you are untouchable because you are the darling of the media today. We're coming for you. We're going to explain and account for all these monies that you are taking and the lives of our people. What happened in Marikana is still going to account. We see it repeating itself now in Phoenix. The president doesn't go to the families of the affected people because they are black. He goes to the malls owned by white people that is benefiting the status quo of this establishment of the. So that's the president that Thabo, he's going to account. This man is going to account. We're warning him now. What he's doing to Zuma, we're going to do it to him. He's going to jail himself for all this pain that he has caused to our people. We're not going to leave him. 500 billion in 1 year, and there's nothing to show for it. He's going to account. We want our money. We want our money. We want the money that is taken from the World Bank. We want the money that is taken from IMF. He's going to account the lives of our people that were lost prematurely because of him refusing to give vaccination to our people. He's going to account. He's going to from Parliament Union Building. He's going to wear an orange overall. He's going to stay to jail. I'm going to take him straight to jail. That's a promise that we make to our people. And to him.
Appreciate it. We're out of time. Thank you very much for coming through tonight. The EFF Treasurer General there, Omphile Maotwe. When we continue